Well, a ceasefire in the Middle East remains on contentious terms this morning, with Israel launching further strikes on Lebanon after initially calling for direct peace talks with the nation. Joining me to discuss today's headlines is ALP President Wayne Swan and Independent MP Dai Le. Swanee, to you first, though. Netanyahu wants to talk peace and disarm Hezbollah. Lebanon wants a ceasefire before negotiations start. Why can't we come to an agreement on this?
Well, Lebanon should have been included in the ceasefire, and of course Benjamin Netanyahu was part of this decision with President Trump. It's now produced the most significant cost of living impact in history from any oil shock previously in time. So the implications and the impacts are quite dramatic, and we need to see some progress here. Lebanon needs to be included. We need to get the Strait open because the global economy demands it, let alone humanity who are living in Lebanon and other countries.
Di, the president's had a bit of a rocky road on social media, saying one thing then the other. Yesterday saying the ceasefire was a success, but there's actually no document solidifying what the negotiations are going to look like. These talks, will they be productive? We don't seem to have a plan, but it felt like we didn't have a plan going in.
Can I say something first? Wars really suck. It just sucks so badly. I mean, our community and globally as well, and to what Wayne just mentioned, it impacts the little people. And honestly, I feel that at the moment, you know, whatever the president says, one moment it changes again. But what I want to focus on are the people, the little people who are trying to make ends meet, the families, you know, the small businesses. The ramifications on these little people, honestly, I just feel so frustrated when we discuss this ceasefire, non-ceasefire, and then, and predominantly, the men that are making these decisions have got no idea whatsoever how this will impact the little people. The people have to, you know, they're paying at the price at the petrol bowser, they're paying at the grocery store when they go shopping, they're paying when they are on the road, you know, the cost of for truck drivers, the diesel, the food, that is going to flow on so much. And yet these leaders, these men that are making these decisions have got no idea of the impact it's having on their life. So, look, I welcome ceasefire, but as we've seen and we've watched this unfolding wars in the last few weeks, it's been like there's no predictability. If anyone has any kind of you know, guess or real certainty about what's going to happen, I think we're all guessing here.
Well, Wayne, Di's got a point there. The price of diesel, it said, is higher since the conflict broke out here. So we know that, you know, the Prime Minister's in Singapore trying to shore up things there. But does the government need to concede that we are struggling here back home?
They absolutely know we're struggling back home, which is why they're overseas talking to our allies, making sure that we can secure the supply to keep the pressure off price. It's why they cut the fuel excise, and it's why they're working so hard in the region to secure supply. They absolutely understand the cost of living impact and what it's doing around the kitchen table, which is why it's so incredible that the President could be completely unaware of the flow-on effects of this, not just to the Australian people, but to people right around the world, and not appear to really care.
Yeah, look, let's try... Go ahead.
Can I jump in there?
Of course.
Look, I welcome that fuel excise. Now, the government should have predicted the cost of living crisis, and I've called for the fuel excise, and I welcome that. It's a small drop in the ocean, but we can't now. Yes, great that they've secured more, you know, fuel till June, but we can't constantly do this. As a nation, we need to look at our sovereignty. We need to look at how we can actually ensure that we are not in this place again, because you know this has happened during COVID. When we are, you know, the supply chain has been disrupted. Now this again, surely the government has to do something more permanent, either have more oil refineries.
Well, the government is doing something more permanent, Di.
But we can't just go in and just...
It's called the Made in Australia program.
Yeah. Well, Wayne, can I say the Made Australia program, it's not going into what we actually need to be making here in Australia. We're just going to renewables, which is
great.
It certainly
is.
Nothing of that money
has gone into
renewables
at all, Di.
Other supply chain, Wayne. You should be, please be honest about it.
It's
I'm
not
really
just
frustrated.
renewables.
I'm just so frustrated that the government can't be actually honest.
Everybody's frustrated, Di, and Di. Everybody's frustrated. They should be frustrated with the policy for decades which made sure that we deindustrialised. The government is about reindustrialisation and made in Australia. That's what it's doing.
We're not. I disagree. We're making policies, headline policies, that has nothing to do with actually setting up manufacturing from meat, from producing things here, from textiles and footwear here. Nothing. Everything has been outsourced.
Team, we're going to have to leave it there, but it's a lot of passion going around here this morning. No, there's no need. We don't need to apologise. Everyone is feeling the same way, and it's going global, and it's affecting everything from the top of the food chain all the way down to the kitchen table. But I appreciate you both being here this morning. Have a good weekend.
Have a good Friday, everybody. Sorry.
Thanks, Jay.